Man, you are a fast typer. I can hear your fingers going.
Oh, thanks.
I am a slow typer. Actually, my wife can type as fast as she can think. I think that's exactly...
Oh.
I mean, like, it's just like fluid coming out of her
Wow.
fingers. She's that fast.
I used to practice, like, while I was watching TV, and I'd try to, like, type as fast as I could hear that. And I've never really been able to do it, but I practiced for, like, a couple, like, months or whatever, and because I used to be, like, 20 words per minute, and now I'm, like, 50. But that's as fast as I really need.
Yeah, I wish I was a faster typer. Hi, this is Seattle's number one. And welcome. This is Seattle's number one comic book podcast, the podcast that is dedicated to the first issue of your next favorite comic, and I am Larry.
I am James.
James, how you doing?
Oh, pretty excellent.
Pretty excellent. Excellent weather to be excellent in.
Oh, yeah, I almost got a sunburn.
Well, that could happen with your fair
I'm pretty
skin.
white. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it is a beautiful day out there. We're recording a little earlier today.
While the sun is still shining?
While the sun is still shining, and we're just down in the basement. Like, it's a beautiful day, I'm going down in the basement.
I get to look out the window, so I'm a little bit more fortunate then.
Yes.
Not even a cloud.
So,
There's maybe a cloud in the distance. I spoke too soon.
Well, this is episode 60, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina #1.
Ooh.
And before
Sabrina of the Archie world.
Sabrina of the Archie world. And before we dive into that, spoiler alert always, this is a review show. We're going to reread and
spoil
review.
The whole review.
Yes. But I also want to do a quick shout out to a new subscriber.
Oh, sweet.
And this subscriber also is a comic book aficionado, and he is selling his comics online to
the highest bidder?
Yeah, the highest bidder, eBay style. But he is selling comics. He has a online comic book shop.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Called Certified Comic Shop. His name is Jason Stum, and he is doing this as a dream come true. He's always wanted to have a comic book shop, so now he has a comic book shop online, and you can find him. And he's blogging about it, and he's Instagramming about it. So you can find him at certifiedcomic.shop/blog.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'd never really thought about that, but that makes a lot of sense.
And like this form letter that he sent my friend, another Jason, who also co-hosted
Shout out
with me.
Jason from the comic book club.
Yes, and so Jason found this guy and used his services to fill out a run of comics that he's working on.
Oh, nice.
And this Jason at Certified Comic Shop had those comics, and he wrote this great letter telling him about his future comic book shop.
What were the comics?
Well, that's a secret.
Is that going to be next? Is that going to be next week's?
Next week's comic.
Oh, we're gonna have to hold it on to the end. Then you got to listen to the whole episode, everybody.
Yes. So, Jason and him have a rapport now, back and forth, and he mentioned our show, and I said I would love to shout out Jason. So check out Certified Comic Shop.
All right, I'm going to be on it.
On it. Now.
On it.com. Yeah. So I'm excited about this, Sabrina, but I got to hear some recent and decent before we get into it, Larry.
All right,
what do you got around the corner for us?
Recent and decent. Oh, I got to turn up the recent and decent music.
Bow, 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 bow.
Wow. So recent and decent. This is it's a little cutesy. The art style is very, very reminiscent of somebody named Brandon Graham, who I don't think we've touched upon, but he's got a very unique style of drawing. And this person, Ulysses Farinas.
I've never met a Ulysses before.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
S. Grant.
So it's written and drawn by Ulysses, and the book is called Motro, and it's a reclusive.
I don't know what that is.
Is
that a real word?
That's the character.
Oh, okay.
That's his name, and he's a reclusive little boy with superpowers. And
Does he read comic books?
He draws comic books.
Classic comic book trope.
And he has like a little toy motorcycle that he talks to, and the motorcycle talks back to him. And,
like Kit from Knight Rider?
Yeah, it's very, very magical and fantasy like. And
wait, quick pause. I wanted to give a shout out to the Knight Rider theme song. Holds up like, oh my goodness, I listen to it all the time. Actually, it's on one of my favorite playlists. You should check it out.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm writing down.
It's a really good song.
Knight Rider. Anyway, so Motro is set. He has a destiny to fill, and his village has been devastated by big bad guys, and he goes to fight these big bad guys, and I wouldn't say hilarity ensues, but there's a punch up, and Motro comes up with a plan to fight back, and he it's really fantastical because all of the machinery is magical and it eats.
Oh, that's so fun!
The tanks in this eat like at a trough. It's so funny to look at. So it's called Motro. I have read the first issue. And there are 4 issues out to date. And check it out, recent and decent.
Sweet.
All right, let's dive into some Sabrina. Chilling Adventures
of Sabrina. It didn't say the Teenage Witch on the title, but I think we all know who Sabrina is. Even though I've never seen any of the TV show, I still recognize the character.
Right. It somehow osmosis.
It's in the lexicon.
Yeah. And I've never seen the television show either. And I really thought that this was, well, I knew it was a horror book.
You can tell by how orange it is. And the Sabrina on the cover is ghost lettering.
Yes.
It's called The Chilling Adventure.
Right. Now, if this, earlier today, I dialed up the imagery on my computer, and the second page of this book is so chilling.
Oh my goodness. It's the second page and the last page. So far, they're number 1 for splash pages in my book.
Oh, this one was scary because I left that open to this. So, what are we looking at, James?
We're looking at a skull with worms coming out of the mouth, and the top, and through the top of the skull is exploded, and out the nose, Sabrina's staring you down, and then in the top it's a collection of ghouls and goblins and witches and all sorts of demons, and they're all in this deep red, the skull is shattering with them exploding out. It's so creepy looking.
It is very creepy looking, and it even gave me a startle because I had it open to that page. I went upstairs, I was fooling around, I came downstairs. I'd been upstairs for a while. I came downstairs, and that page was open on my computer, and what is that? It spooked me. It is
and even just the way that Sabrina's staring you down is spooky.
And I think
which you also see a little bit on it's the same image you see on the front cover.
Right. And if you had the physical copy, I think I have the physical copy, and I can't remember if they did this. When you opened it up, it's that physical the window that she's looking out of is cut away like an old horror book.
Oh, that's awesome. So then you open it up and it reveals the behind the house is this set of evil.
Yeah, behind the house is this skull of evil. Oh, it is so scary. But what's the story, James? Because a lot of people don't know what Sabrina. I didn't know anything about Sabrina.
I didn't either, but it's one of the better backstories for a character I've ever seen. especially in like the whole creepy vibe. So we get she was like born on October 31st, and it's set back in the 50s when she was born, and we see her father. We find out that he is like a warlock, and these witches who he's related to want to take his 1-year-old child away from him and his wife, who is not a witch.
She is immortal.
She's immortal, so which means that our main character is a half-breed, or as the Harry Potter world knows it as a mug, or a what is it in Harry? She's half Muggle.
Oh yeah, it might be half Muggle.
What? I guess it's half blood. They use the same kind of terminology,
right?
But it's so creepy, like the way like the witches like just teleport around her as she's trying to run away to the forest, and there's like you can't escape us, and then she's like the baby just teleports out of her arms, and she says, "I'm going to tell the world about you witches," and then as a punishment they lobotomize her, so that way she's not crazy. She's like, they send her to the mental institute. You see like the scar across her head,
right,
in that window, and they did it to save her because they really should have killed her according to witch law or whatever it is.
Right.
And that's such a creepy beginning that, first they have to steal your baby, and then you can just imagine being that woman, trying to, it's like, oh, how am I going to escape the witches? And then they, now she's sitting in a mental institution with like handprints on the wall and blood on the wall and a big scar across her head, singing, Twiddly Dee songs.
Yeah, the way that the witches, you're right. It's scary because you can't fight the witches. They have the power, and the way that they and this, like, to add like insult to injury, the way that they duped her with the little rag doll in the whole time. She's holding what she thinks is the baby, but the baby's been teleported, and they left her with this like this sad little like rag doll, and she opens up the baby blanket, and it's just this like flour sack rag doll. It's so sad and gross.
And the art is like, I'm gonna say this is my favorite art so far this season.
Oh, right, on.
They did a great, like, first of all, the color, it's all like orange background, so you really get that Halloween feel.
Uh-huh.
But then it's like it's very, how would you describe this? It doesn't have hard lines, but there's a little bit of outline. It's maybe would you say watercolor?
I think it's a little bit of watercolor. There's brushing and tones and things. It's a scary tone that they use everywhere.
Yeah.
And then there's also a little bit of like and it works here. It works really well here because like sometimes like the scary like sometimes the people don't look exactly crisp and human as they are. Like
it kind of blurs that line of whether they're humans. That's a great point.
Yeah. So and then there's also little tiny touches of like now I'm looking at the picture of Sabrina growing up a little bit, growing up. So now she's maybe 2 years old. So they're visiting the mother at the institution. The aunts are waiting for the mother. The dad picks up Sabrina out of the carriage, and the drawing of Sabrina looks it looks like somebody is learning how to do a portrait of a baby. Have you seen that picture on somebody's wall, right?
Yeah, I like that. I wouldn't have thought of that.
And that's the only really detailed picture on this page. The rest of them are very just implied scratching and noodling and not.
And some of the black stuff almost looks like charcoal.
Oh yeah, it's very charcoal. Yes. Yeah.
And then we flash forward to